Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. These are 10 mistakes in volleyball that you should avoid at all costs. So we're gonna start off hot with not being coachable. That is a terrible, terrible, terrible mistake you're making if you're deciding not to be coachable. And I think that being coachable is a choice. Because honestly, it's easy to not be coachable because like your coach can tell you something and you might not take the right way and you can literally just ignore them and that's your choice. But that's not being coachable. So that's something that will just lead you honestly to failure, and it's just not a good practice because it's really, really important to be able to receive feedback and kind of filter it through your brain into a way that makes sense for you. But yeah, being coachable is a really important skill, not only in volleyball, but literally like in life. You know, being able to take criticism is very important. Next mistake to avoid is definitely to steer clear of off-court drama. That will tank a volleyball team so quick. It is actually sickening because, okay, like, you know, you don't have to be best friends with absolutely everybody that you play with, and that will never be the case. Like, you won't get along with everybody on the team. Sometimes that does happen, and that's like the best feeling because like y'all are lit. Like when you genuinely like each other, everyone gets along, you play so well. I've been on teams like that and we were balling, okay? And I've been on teams where girls hated each other. So, you know, I've seen both sides of the coin. And honestly, my advice is just to steer clear of it. Do not invest in it. Don't subscribe to it. Just leave it alone. Try to stay out of it as much as you can because once again, it's just not worth it. It will affect your play, your team play, and it's just not worth it. So please stay out of drama. Next, this is more physical, but definitely not staying hydrated. I'm guilty. I'm very guilty of this. Like I pretty much have a headache like every 5 minutes because I don't drink enough water. But that's even worse when you're very active and you're playing volleyball because you will pass out. Like that will happen. I have literally passed out at a game in the locker room because I was dehydrated, but I also had COVID. Anyways, but it was miserable, bro, okay? So just stay hydrated. It really, you know, it's just good for you. It's good for your body, and honestly, it just makes you play better because you'll have more energy, and I just firmly believe in just drinking more water. I really need to take my own advice. This next mistake is a big one. If you do not emphasize practicing serve and pass, you are doing yourself a huge disservice. Serve and pass are like the cornerstones of volleyball. I literally see that almost like in every video, but it's so true. Like you need to know how to pass and you need to know how to serve. So ignoring that and being like, oh, like I just want to learn how to hit really well and that's it. That will not get you very far because you need the other skills to play a complete game of volleyball. Focusing on your serve receive reps and your serve are so important, especially when you're younger, because I feel like the habits you form when you're younger stick with you throughout your whole career. And that leads me into my next mistake is not getting in your reps. Reps are so important. Repetition is everything in volleyball. The more you practice something, the more you will get better at it, and over time you will master it. So it's really important to always stay on top of your skills and always start, you know, practicing it, whether that's at home, with a ball by yourself, in the gym, with a partner, whatever it is, at practice, whatever it is, just keep your reps continuous because you don't want to take like a huge long break and then lose your touch on the ball and then have to like rapidly get it back before the season starts. Like that's just never a good thing. So honestly, playing volleyball year round is a good idea. Also, coaches love that. They love when a player's like, coach, like I want to get some extra reps in, like I want to get better. They love that kind of stuff. Like taking initiative is really, really attractive to coaches. The next mistake is doubting your abilities. This is a big one, and honestly volleyball is so mental that this one's really hard to avoid, but it is possible. Doubting your abilities is going back to the service line and like thinking that you're gonna miss it even though you've probably served over 10,000 balls in your whole career. It's like you're probably not gonna miss it, but you psyching yourself out, girl, like doubt is the killer of dreams. Okay, like I'm pretty sure I saw that like on Pinterest or something. It is so important to have self-belief and to not doubt yourself because you are as good as you think and you are as good as your training. So trust your training, trust your ability, and don't doubt yourself. The next mistake is arguing with referees. Honestly, I've really never done that before. I've seen people do it and it's just distracting. Don't do it. You know, refs are people too. Now, do they make some horrible calls? Yes. Absolutely, absolutely. You know, sometimes like the ball will literally land 5 feet inbound and literally the ref would be like, oh, it was out. Hello? Like that would send anyone into a spiral. Me included, you know, me included, I'd be like, bro, there's no way. But I'm not gonna talk directly to the ref and be like, bro, like, what are you looking at? Like, no, arguing with refs is just a no-go in my book, and you just shouldn't do it. The next mistake would to be not to communicate on the court. If you're not communicating, you are useless on the court. And when I was coaching, that was my pet peeve. If I saw someone who wasn't communicating, you're out. Sorry, like that's just how it is, because communicating is so vital to like all the offensive schemes you want to run, the defense, serve and pass, like all that stuff. So you need to be talking constantly, and I need to be able to hear your voice. You need to be loud, assertive, and just honestly over talking on the court. Like there's honestly no such thing as too much talking in volleyball. Truly, I don't even care if you're talking about what you had for breakfast. Just talk. You know, it gets everyone's game pretty loose, and it gets people going. So just make sure you're always yapping, like kind of like I am every Sunday. The next mistake, this one's also a big one, and it is being afraid to mess up. I've had so much experience with this one. It literally sucks so bad, because like say you're on game point, right? This is to go to like the state championship or to win the conference championship, and it's game point. You get set the ball and you're like, oh my God, you're in the air, you're like, or even before. I know people are thinking about this beforehand. They're probably thinking about it before the match even started. They're like, oh my God, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to hit the ball out of bounds. I don't want to get blocked. Whatever it is, whatever counts as an error, I don't want to do it, and I don't want any part of it. So I'm just going to play really safe and just place the ball inbounds, and that's it. No, I feel like being aggressive is what wins matches. Taking some risk is really what wins matches. It's not just being safe and giving the other team a free ball. That's just not going to be conducive to winning ever. So it's really, really important to not be afraid to make an error, because everyone makes errors. And it's like, if you're going to go out, at least go out swinging. Okay, that's my philosophy. The last mistake you can make, and probably the biggest one, is not watching volleyball. You are missing out. If you're not watching volleyball, either on the college level, beach, Olympics, professional, whatever it is, there's so much volleyball. The game is growing so rapidly that there's so many opportunities to see volleyball in person or watch it on television, streaming, anything like that. So make sure that you are super connected in the volleyball community. It will really help your game, and also it's just a great way to grow the game. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye!